So last week I made a video ranking all the final bosses in every single Mario and Luigi game. This week I'll be ranking all the final bosses in every single Paper Mario game. There are a total of 6 Paper Mario games, some of which are incredible and some of which are not so good. And the same could be said for all the final bosses as well in those titles. So we're going to be starting off with the first final boss from the very first Paper Mario game, Bowser. That's right, Bowser is the final boss in the very first Paper Mario title. The game essentially begins when Bowser steals an item known as the Star Rod, which belongs to the 7 Star Spirits. This item can grant any wish the user desires. Bowser uses his wishes to seal away the 7 Star Spirits and grant himself invincibility. But towards the end of the game, once Mario's freed all 7 of the Star Spirits, Mario makes his way once again back to Bowser's castle. Mario and Bowser battle once again. Bowser uses the Star Rod to grant himself invincibility, but Mario counterattacks, this time with a successful attack when he uses the Star Beam, an attack given to him by the 7 Star Spirits, therefore making Bowser's invincibility ineffective. But Bowser realizes he's not capable of defeating Mario, so he flees the battle, considering that battle he has with him is a warm-up, then fleeing to the rooftop of the castle, therefore commencing phase 2 of the battle. Mario meets Bowser at the rooftop of the castle, where Kammy Koopa activates her creation known as the Power Platform to pump Bowser up in both power and size. Then the battle begins, the second phase, Mario vs. Bowser. When Bowser powers up using the Star Rod, Mario finds out that the Star Beam attack is now ineffective against Bowser. After realizing that the Star Beam is ineffective on Bowser, the game cuts to Princess Peach and Kammy Koopa, where then Twink comes along and frees Princess Peach from the grips of Kammy Koopa. Princess Peach then makes a wish which fills the Star Spirits with more power, thus enabling Mario to recover. The spirits upgrade the Star Beam to an attack known as the Peach Beam, which then cuts through Bowser's enhanced power. After a lengthy battle between Mario and Bowser, the Koopa King is ultimately left defeated. Mario then returns the Star Rod to the Star Spirits. Kammy Koopa informs Bowser that the Power Platform and Bowser's castle are going to self-destruct, but the Star Spirits protect Mario and Peach's castle from the explosion, whereas Bowser and Kammy Koopa go flying off the Power Platform. I'm going to unfortunately have to rank this battle a low rank. I didn't think the battle was as intense as it was hyped up to be for the entire game. Don't get me wrong, the game was fantastic. But the final battle where Bowser had a rod that made him invincible, and then he failed to even use it properly, where Mario was still able to defeat him. And not only that, but the fact that at the end of the battle, Bowser walks away towards Kammy Koopa as if he was unharmed. Like, it didn't really feel like Mario did much damage to defeat him. It didn't really seem like, you know, the whole fate of the world depended on this. Because, you know, Bowser, he's not really that threatening in this game. So, although the battle was fun, it was cool, it was nice to see Bowser going up against Mario, especially in the first Paper Mario game, I'm going to have to rank the final battle in Paper Mario a D rank because it was somewhat disappointing. Now moving on to Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. This game begins with Mario traveling to Rogueport to meet Princess Peach about the news of a map leading to an ancient treasure, only to find out that Princess Peach has been kidnapped. Mario's quest throughout the entire game is to collect the 7 crystal stars, mysterious artifacts of great power that are linked to an ancient evil sealed deep below Rogueport. The stars were created by the Shadow Queen, the primary villain of the game, and were placed in several locations to further expand her power. The Shadow Queen is a strong demon that originally enslaved the land previously, residing where Rogueport is now. She intended to use these for her own gain and hide them in secret locations all across her dominion, and presents it to the Thousand-Year Door. The door opens. So the battle begins with Mario taking on the Shadow Queen in her Princess Peach form once she's possessed Princess Peach. It's very interesting because the Shadow Queen directly asks Mario and the gang if he's willing to submit to her. If you say yes, I believe you get a game over, but if you say no, then you end up fighting against the Shadow Queen. Now, the first phase of the battle when Mario takes on the Shadow Queen while she's in Princess Peach form is a pretty straightforward battle. She attacks, Mario attacks. Once she gets to a certain number of HP, she then proceeds to transform into her true form. Now, when the second phase of the battle begins, the Shadow Queen is in her ultimate form, and this is really where she displays that her power is truly unlimited. Mario and the gang will do a slew of different attacks and it will do absolutely no damage. Now, I remember when I replayed the 1000-Year Door, I thought I was doing it all wrong because every attack that I did, whether it was with Mario or any of Mario's companions, I was doing absolutely no damage, and I was wondering why. And not only that, but she has plenty of different attacks and multiple attack turns that she could literally deplete your HP so quickly. So during this phase, you just kind of have to wait it out because it's a part of the game. And once you get through this phase, you realize that you are actually truly incapable of doing any damage on her. Now, unlike Bowser, who uses a item like the Star Rod to grant him the wish of invincibility, the Shadow Queen didn't use that, but at the same time, it's just a display of her raw true strength, which truly does make her one of the strongest villains in the whole Super Mario series. Now, after you realize that the Shadow Queen is invincible, the game will then take you to a cutscene where the Shadow Queen will ask you again for a second time, are you willing to submit? And if you are willing to submit to her, she will forgive you of your misdeeds. If you say yes, you get a game over. If you say no, then the true battle against the Shadow Queen begins. But before that happens, don't forget, Mario collected all 7 of the crystal stars. They come together and each crystal star goes back to its designated place, calling upon the people and the civilians of the Mushroom Kingdom all to lend Mario their energy and power and good thoughts. Now, once Mario's used the power of the crystal stars against the Shadow Queen, Mario is then able to do some attack damage on her. You have to attack either both her hands and then her head. There's many ways that you could go about defeating the Shadow Queen in her true form. It's a really tough battle when you compare it to other battles in the Paper Mario series, and it's one that really does display the true might and power of the Shadow Queen, truly making her one of the most menacing villains in all of the Super Mario series. So it's because of that, I'm going to be ranking the Shadow Queen in both her forms individually. I'm going to be ranking the Shadow Queen in her Princess Peach form, the A rank, and then the Shadow Queen in her ultimate form, the final battle in Paper Mario the 1000-Year Door, will earn itself the S rank because truly it was a superb battle, worthy of everything that it was. Now, moving on to Super Paper Mario, my all-time favorite Paper Mario game, with my all-time favorite final boss battle. The game essentially begins just like every other Paper Mario game, with the super villain trying to get a hold of a specific item or something which will essentially grant them access to unlimited power. In this case, the villain is known as Count Bleck. He's trying to summon something known as the Chaos Heart, which will essentially give him the power to destroy all worlds. And in order for him to summon the Chaos Heart, he needs to marry off 2 individuals, and his choice of marriage is Bowser and Peach. Mario then has to embark on a journey to collect the pure hearts to essentially stop Count Bleck's attack and do away with the Chaos Heart. At the end of the game, Mario then encounters Count Bleck for the final showdown. Mario and Count Bleck battle it out in a 1v1, only jumping on Count Bleck's head to do damage and avoiding his attacks. Count Bleck in the first phase of the battle is invincible. Mario cannot do any damage on him, and Mario has to avoid his attacks because Count Bleck is already so powerful. Once Mario realizes his attacks are ineffective against Count Bleck due to Count Bleck possessing the Chaos Heart, Bowser, Peach, and Luigi come through and save the day. Once Count Bleck sees that the 4 heroes from the Mushroom Kingdom have gathered together, the 8 Chaos Hearts come together and destroy the barrier that was created around Count Bleck, then making him vulnerable. And then the true battle against Count Bleck begins. This Paper Mario game is a lot easier in my opinion compared to the other Paper Mario games, because instead of it being a turn-by-turn combat style RPG, this game you just gotta pretty much avoid Count Bleck's attacks and jump on his head, and that's how you do significant damage. Overall, the battle against Count Bleck was not difficult at all, but I'm not only just ranking the final battle itself, I'm ranking the villain overall as a whole. I thought Count Bleck was an amazing villain. You definitely didn't see the likes of him before prior in a Nintendo game. His motive and his rage was based around love that was lost. And because of this, he sought out to destroy everything because of his broken heart. And it's also really interesting to see him have a change of heart at the end of the game and wanting to undo all the damage that he's done, which usually you never see in a Mario game, or I guess any game for that matter. Usually the villain commits to the very end, but Count Bleck, he did have a change of heart at the very end, which I thought was pretty commendable. He redeemed himself. He was a very redeemable villain. So I'm gonna go ahead and rank Count Bleck the B rank because he was a pretty good boss. Once Count Bleck is defeated, Dementio, one of Count Bleck's minions, comes in and does away with Count Bleck, surprising you and Count Bleck and everybody in the game with his true motives. Dementio is a villain that worked alongside Count Bleck the entire game, but his motives were far different from what you thought. He waited until the right moment to betray his master in order for him to take what was not his rightfully, which was the Chaos Heart. He then therefore infiltrates Luigi's mind, turning him into Mr. L, and then assuming the Chaos Heart and fusing with Mr. L, creating the true final boss in Super Paper Mario, known as Super Dementio. Super Dementio is a gargantuan clown-like puppet master that serves as the final boss in Super Paper Mario. What makes this battle interesting was that when the four heroes gathered together, the Pure Heart was able to come together and diminish the power of the Chaos Heart against Count Bleck. But when Dementio attacked Count Bleck from behind, sending him and Nastasia to Dimension D, they were missing one of the four heroic heroes. Because the prophecy foretold that four heroes could come together and bring about the Pure Heart, since Luigi was missing, essentially Super Dementio was invincible. But this is where Count Bleck makes his ultimate redemption. Count Bleck and his minions come together in Dimension D, expressing feelings of hope and love, thus restoring the Pure Hearts. The Pure Hearts are then used upon Super Dementio, making him weak, nullifying his invincibility, and then beginning the true final battle of Super Paper Mario. One of my favorite things as well about this battle is the music that is used during the final battle. It's so hype, it's super intense, and you could use pretty much any one of the three heroes, Peach, Bowser, or Mario, to take on the final boss. Dementio is just overall one of the most wicked, cunning villains in any Mario game, and I would love to see him return. When you defeat him in this game, he actually alludes to not being fully defeated, like he has one more trick up his sleeve. It could be that Dementio was just saying it for the sake of saying it, but it could also allude to a return of Dementio in some future game. So I'm gonna go ahead and rank the final battle in Super Paper Mario the S rank because it was super. So moving on to the next game, a lot of people hate this game and a lot of people love this game, Paper Mario Sticker Star. The game begins on the night of the Sticker Fest, where the citizens of Dekelberg have gathered together to witness the Sticker Comet, which essentially allows any wish to come true. Wow, ooh, cool, like every other Paper Mario game. Bowser then crashes the party, planning to steal the Sticker Comet, only to touch it and then break it into 6 different pieces. Mario then meets his new companion known as Kirsty and heads out on an adventure to collect and obtain all of the Sticker Comet pieces. Once Mario collects 5 of the royal stickers, he makes his way to Bowser's castle to collect the 6th and final piece. The final and most powerful sticker lands on Bowser's head, therefore granting Bowser special abilities. And just like the previous Paper Mario titles, the final battle is a multi-phase battle. Bowser's seen in a holographic form with the royal sticker crown on his head. The first phase of the battle begins when Bowser summons minions where Mario has to defeat before he's able to attack Bowser directly. Once Mario goes through this event a couple of different times, he backs Bowser into a corner where Bowser is then knocked off the edge of the cliff from his castle, landing into the lava. To Mario's surprise, Bowser is resurrected out of the lava once again, but this time in huge form. Similarly, you see this whole concept in New Super Mario Bros. Games where Bowser, he lands in lava, but then he comes out much stronger due to the magic used on him from Kammy Koopa. Kirsty will acknowledge that Bowser is too strong to take any damage in this formation, so the only way to counterattack him properly is to use a sticker that is similar to the royal sticker, so she'll offer up herself so that Mario can use her in order to actually defeat Bowser once and for all. And once you've used Kirsty's royal sticker, you'll have the ability to use many more stickers, allowing you to be able to do more damage on Bowser and defeat him in a much shorter amount of time than you normally would. I'm gonna go ahead and be ranking Sticker Bowser a C rank. Now you probably thought I might rank him higher, but come on, man. He's just a casual boss on a casual Paper Mario game. Like, you really expecting me to put him in the S rank? So moving on to the next Paper Mario game, Paper Mario Color Splash. Now the whole premise of the story is Mario gets a visit from Princess Peach and a Toad, who come all the way to Mario's house. I don't know why Mario was like living deep in the woods, but essentially Mario gets a visit from Princess Peach late at night on a rainy day. Princess Peach informs Mario that she got a letter in the mail where Toad was drained of all his colors. Ooh. Anyways, Mario then goes to Port Prism to investigate, only to find out that the entire Mushroom Kingdom has been drained of a significant amount of color. Later on, Mario then finds out that Bowser landed in a bucket of paint that turned him black, and therefore he was wreaking havoc on the Mushroom Kingdom and sending his minions to absorb color from everything. Once you collect all the big 6 paint stars, they'll create a path for you to Bowser's Castle, where Mario and his new companion Huey will have to go against Bowser on a one-on-one. Now this battle, similarly to the other Paper Mario games, is a 2-phase battle. The first phase is pretty straightforward. Mario and Huey attack Bowser. Bowser spawns out some minions of his, little black paintballs, that Mario has to attack before he's able to attack Bowser directly. Once Bowser reaches a certain level of paint, because the more you attack him, essentially the more his paint is depleted. Once he reaches a certain level of paint, he then transforms into his ultimate form. The black paint that possesses him is not having any of that. It's like, no, Bowser, you will survive. In the second phase of the battle, the black paint returns to Bowser and increases his size, making him more powerful in his attacks. Huey, your companion, decides to turn himself into a card after realizing that Bowser's attacks cannot be blocked. It's pretty straightforward. You just avoid Bowser's attacks. Huey then, with every successful attack that you block, Huey absorbs some of Bowser's black paint, and then you use your battle cards to attack Bowser directly. You continuously do this until Bowser essentially is depleted of all of his black paint, and all of it is contained within Huey. I thought this was one of the strangest Paper Mario titles. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I feel like I like Paper Mario Sticker Star now more than I do Color Splash. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not like the best games out there, but I mean, after, you know, revisiting the final boss in Paper Mario Sticker Star and then comparing it to this, yeah, I gotta say, Paper Mario Sticker Star did it better. Black Bowser, you know, he wasn't really that intimidating. He just drank a little too much paint, a little too much black paint, which had him not feeling himself, really. Overall, the final battle in Paper Mario Color Splash was, compared to the rest of the other bosses that we fought in the other Paper Mario titles, you know, it was kind of a fail. It was kind of a fail, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna have to rank the final boss in Paper Mario Color Splash the F rank. Now, last but not least, let's talk about King Ollie from Paper Mario the Origami King, the final installment to the Paper Mario series. The game begins with Mario and Luigi driving to Toad Town for the Origami Festival after being invited by the princess, only to discover that the town of Peach's Castle is completely deserted. Mario and Luigi enter Peach's Castle only to find themselves running into a girl named Olivia, who's not your ordinary paper villain, but rather a origami girl, the likes of which they've never seen before. Olivia reveals herself as the younger sister to King Ollie, the one responsible for turning Bowser's minions into origami and wreaking havoc on the Mushroom Kingdom. I guess you could say King Ollie was a racist when he saw that they were paper beings like the toads running around in 2D. That just like really got under his skin. He wasn't feeling it, so he decided to take it upon himself to turn the world into an origami world. King Ollie summons 5 streamers from across the Mushroom Kingdom to wrap around Peach's Castle and rip it out of the ground. Mario then goes on an adventure with Olivia, along with some companions that he meets along the way, in order to release the Mushroom Kingdom from all of the different streamers. Once Mario has successfully relieved the Mushroom Kingdom from what King Ollie has done, he makes his way to Origami Castle, where King Ollie resides, to put an end to him once and for all. Now, Paper Mario the Origami King had a much more unique gameplay style than any of the other Paper Mario titles. Like I said in my tier list video when I ranked all the Paper Mario games, I wasn't a fan of the battle ring system. So the final battle begins where Mario versus King Ollie in a typical battle ring system. King Ollie has the ability to take on any elemental form he desires. Now, I remember when I first played this game and I was beating the final boss for the first time, I remember resetting it a couple of different times, and every single time I reset it, King Ollie took on a different elemental form. So it wasn't like there was a specific coding for how he battles you in the final battle. It was essentially like randomly generated. He could have used on this elemental form, the fire elemental form, the ice elemental form. It all depended on whatever was being generated at the time. So in my playthrough, I was fortunate enough to catch him on his fire elemental stuff. So I was able to defeat him in his first phase fairly quickly. But then when I watched other people on YouTube do it, I realized I probably just got lucky, to be honest. But once you essentially get past the first battle ring phase with him when he takes on different elemental forms, you move on to a second phase. Now along the way, Mario had picked up different companions, and towards the very end of the game, Bowser becomes one of Mario's companions, which is one of the things that disappointed me, because I thought Bowser was going to be a companion of Mario's from the beginning of the game, but turns out you only become companions with Bowser at the very end of the game, right before the final boss, which really disappointed me because I wanted to see him earlier on in the game, not at the very last moment of the game. So phase 2 of the battle takes place after King Ollie essentially destroys his castle, turning the battle ring into another battlefield, and then assuming on a different form, a giant version of himself, a origami form of King Ollie but in a colossal size. Olivia, being the younger sister to King Ollie, obviously knows the same tricks, so she decides to turn Bowser into a giant origami himself to match King Ollie. The whole idea with the second phase is to essentially follow Bowser around and try to get behind his back using one of the 1,000-fold arm techniques to essentially push Bowser to help Bowser push King Ollie off the edge. Now once that's done and over with, phase 2 is over. Moving you on to phase 3 of the battle, where King Ollie once again comes back in even a more colossal form. Now in phase 3 of the battle, Mario essentially has 60 seconds to reorganize the magic circle back into its original state before time runs out. When the magic circle is completely reassembled, King Ollie will attack a few more times, attacking with hammers, firing airplanes, and crushing Mario with both hands, and also attempting to cut him with dual blades. At the very end of the battle, Mario is able to damage King Ollie's hand and use the magic circle to activate the 1,000-fold arm and rush attack King Ollie. Olivia then transforms herself into a giant hammer, and Mario bashes King Ollie with Olivia's hammer, thus ending the battle. Once again, the final battle in Paper Mario the Origami King was very unique because of the fact that the battle style for this game was very unique compared to the other Paper Mario games. I personally didn't have a problem with the story mode of the battle. I didn't have a problem with King Ollie as a villain per se. I just wasn't a fan of the overall battle style of Paper Mario the Origami King, which honestly did rob me from the experience. But overall, the storyline of the game I thought was very nice. I had a lot of fun. So due to the fact that King Ollie was a great boss, a menacing villain, but the battle's not really the best, I'm going to have to rank King Ollie the C rank. But anyways, there you guys have it, my tier list for all the final bosses in the Paper Mario series. Let me know what your tier list looks like down below and what your favorite Paper Mario game is. For me, mine is Super Paper Mario. Like I said, nothing takes that game. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.